Male loneliness epidemic. Yeah. Do you want to know the last time a man held the door open for me? Do you want to know the last time a man wanted to see me in the daylight? Do you want to know the last time a man bought me flowers? Do you want to know the last time a man picked me up for a date? I'm sorry that I'm not jumping at the opportunity to be treated like complete fucking dog shit. I'm sorry that I'm not jumping at the opportunity to receive the bare minimum from a man. At the end of the day, I can do all those things for me, and I can do it without some man bitching and whining and moaning in my ear about it. I dated a guy one time and he told me, well, I can't buy you flowers that much because then you're just going to expect it. And it's not going to be as special. Why isn't it just like a normal thing that you regularly do? And I also had to ask for flowers, and he never held the door open for me. The last time I was involved with a man that I wanted to date, he threatened to delete my nudes when I pissed him off, and then he gaslit me and called me crazy, and the whole time he was talking to a complete other girl. And also, I don't really feel like getting into a relationship and then immediately being pressured by society to get married, have children, start a family, because apparently that's all that women are good for in this day and age. And I've done the math. My life is just a whole lot better and easier without a man in my life dating me, because at the end of the day, I don't need to depend on them for happiness, and I'm way better off on my own. And until a man wants to treat me right, then I'm fine being single. So maybe do better.
Single woman here. Is there a man in this world who is emotionally stable, financially responsible, does not have to be asked to clean up after himself, is not addicted to video games, and is amazing in bed? If that man does exist, sir, make yourself known in the comments.
The female loneliness epidemic will never be a thing, because we have friends. We're not fucking weirdos. And we're perfectly happy walking by ourselves and listening to a good audiobook and just drinking coffee on the front porch and admiring nature.
Because I'm so sick of these men thinking like they're the prize. Okay, baddie. Okay, girly pop. Okay, diva. Okay, baddie queen. Because what do you mean you want to be chased? You think you're the prize and you're asking me what I bring to the table? Bitch, you're lucky I'm even letting you think about sitting at my table. You're lucky I am even speaking to you. Because women have always been the prize. Women have always been the prize. Women have always been meant to be chased. Wars have literally been started over women. Men used to have to go back in the olden days and been like, go up to your father and be like, here's my cows, here's my land. This is what I have to offer your daughter. Please let me go sit in a room so I can talk to your daughter. Because men used to have to actually show that they had worth.
Modern women like to show off that they're not alone, but that's just an illusion. They say they have friends, that they enjoy their independence, but deep down, that support network crumbles when the others get married, have kids, or start their own families. And if they're attractive, it's even worse, because a lot of wives don't want them anywhere near their husbands. It's no coincidence that a woman's worst enemy is often another woman. As for women who are looking for a gentleman, they need to understand that you attract what you are. If you're not a lady, you're not going to get that kind of man. These days, men are looking for reciprocity, a woman who shows the same level of interest. We're living in the age of equality, the one women pushed for. So now it's on both sides to put in the effort. Back in the day, a man had to ask permission just to speak, prove his worth, and would take home a virgin, his treasure. Now, he's lucky if she hasn't dated more than 10 guys. Times have changed, and men have learned a lot from this so-called equality.
This is just a rant for the single people who don't want to freaking be single. I'm exhausted. I've been on Tinder since I think it came out in 2016. I've tried multiple dating apps. I've tried, when I used to have friends, I used to try it that way. And I'm really sick and tired of the people just downplaying, being in a relationship isn't that great, or it'll come to you if you stop looking for it. Shut the fuck up. I've stopped because I don't have any hope. And even when I was looking for it, it didn't matter. Every fucking bullshit cliche someone has to say about you not finding love pisses me off. They don't know what it feels like to be unpicked, to be the fat best friend, to be the one that the person asks Not about you, but about your friend. To constantly be invisible. I just want to know what it feels like once. To constantly be the one 3 a.m. text because you're ashamed to be seen with me. I just want to know what it feels like to be mutually loved. And for the people who are saying it's not all what it's cracked up to be and all that shit and all the fights, you're doing your relationship wrong. If there's that many faults and everything, then break the hell up. You're not meant to be together. End of story. And you're not meant to just... I'm just so tired. You're not meant to air your grievances that won't even matter in my relationships because I don't give a shit. I'm so freaking easygoing. I don't care. I don't care about a lot of crap.
Brothers, the nose ring theory is real. The moment a man sees that, all the alarms go off. Women are reaching a massive level of frustration, and the root of it lies in modern feminism. When you push nearly all average men out of the dating market, you end up with millions of women left single. They've set an impossible standard. If a man isn't a 666 of the apocalypse, 6 figures, 6 feet tall, and a six-pack, he doesn't qualify. That 666 from hell has discouraged a lot of men, and in the end, it's women like this one who are affected. Women who aren't a 10, who don't have the looks to attract hundreds of guys. They're the ones who end up alone. She's been looking for a partner since 2016, and still nothing. She's tired of advice because she's finally facing her reality. The good-looking guys, the chads, don't look her way. And the average guy, the one who used to marry women like her, has simply walked away from the dating game. The result, total frustration at the wall.
But you people are just, you care about like the dumbest shit. Like, oh, well, he's not going on a healthier diet, so now I'm really pissed at him. Who gives up? Stop trying to change people. You fell in love with them for a reason. Stay in love. What the hell's wrong with you? Stop trying to change people. The people that are in love or have love, found love, and I quote that because I don't think it's real love, they don't deserve it. They are so completely undeserving. They complain at every fucking turn. I would die to be in a fight with my significant other. Just to feel that, like, I'm not saying like fighting is healthy in relationships, but it does happen. And I want that. It's normal. For the people who are saying it's not, and it sucks, try being involuntarily single for about 10 years. Really gets to you, really makes you feel like the bottom of the barrel, the piece of shit, the fucking nobody that nobody ever would want. I don't know. I'm too shy, I'm too weird. I need patient people. There aren't many of those in the world anymore. Because of my autism and my agoraphobia and my social anxiety, it's going to take me a fucking minute to text you and get to know you a little bit and then be like, okay, I feel safe with this person to go out. Or if we meet in real life, I'm never going up to you in the first place because of the severe rejection habits and patterns that I've gone through. I don't need the extra, you're not good enough anymore. I don't need that anymore. It sucks to not be good enough for the person you want to be good enough for. It's exhausting. But hey. Keep complaining instead of breaking up and trying to find the one that actually is your one. I'm so sick and tired of these stupid people in relationships saying, It's not all what it's cracked up to be, and it all sucks and yada yada. Then why the fuck are you in one? Let the person go so that someone else could have a chance. You're sick.
This woman isn't angry at love. She's angry at the hypocrisy. And I get it. The worst thing a lonely person can hear is someone in a relationship complaining about what she spent years longing for. It's like watching someone throw food away in front of someone starving. That's why her anger doesn't come from hate, but from exhaustion. She spent too long watching others waste what she would give anything to have. And the strongest part of her message is that she's right. There are a lot of women who don't appreciate the man they have next to them. They spend their lives trying to change him, pointing out what's missing, but never being thankful for what's there. Meanwhile, she, alone, with her struggles and her anxiety, is just asking for a chance to love. That says a lot. The sad part is, by the time she finally finds a good man, she'll already be marked by frustration. She'll either value him or break him. Or she'll become one of those women who criticize men for not being perfect, like the ones we're about to see next.
Women.
So sick of men chasing after me just so they can try to humble me. You cannot humble somebody who's already humble. I don't think that I'm the shit. I don't think that I'm perfect. You think that I'm perfect. Stop putting me on a pedestal. Stop trying to humble me. Grow up and learn how to love yourself. Thank you.
They don't want you. They don't want you. You actually have to be likable to find someone.
The fact that women don't need men to survive anymore has caused the male loneliness epidemic. Men had to manufacture a sense of need for their presence. And you don't know how to be desirable to women, so you're lonely. Aww. Aww. Thoughts and prayers.
First of all, there can't be a male loneliness epidemic when there are 7 million more women than men in this country. Add to that the men who are married to foreigners, the ones who move to other countries, or the ones who are gay. That leaves even more women single. They say men are the ones ending up without partners, but they ignore the women living in their cars, sleeping in shelters, or desperate for attention on social media. The whole "we don't need men anymore" narrative sounds nice, until reality hits with the wall, and they realize no friend can replace a home, a partner, or a shared purpose. And for the woman who says she's tired of men trying to bring her down a notch, that's a clear sign she's only dating chads, guys who bring nothing to the table and only use her. So enjoy your choice, because you're already at the wall, and the wall doesn't forgive.
I am struggling, and not just with my injured arm, which thankfully is doing a little bit better, but with this wave of loneliness that is turning out to be like a tsunami that I feel like I'm drowning in. Usually when I get sad about being single, it lasts like a day, but it's been, I feel like, almost a week, and I am still struggling and coming to tears every time I even think about it or talk about it. And I think there are a few things that have triggered it. Obviously, the injury, like I mentioned in my last video. It also happens to be that this weekend, both of my siblings are on trips with their significant others, sending videos of their Airbnbs in our group chat, and I'm receiving them while I am alone in my apartment with the use of only one hand. Then there's also the fact that one of my best friend's weddings is coming up in September. And I remember a year ago, she gave me a +1 and she's like, yeah, you can, bring your mom. And I'm like, oh no, I'll for sure have a significant other a year from now. If not, like, kill me. I literally said that. And, now that it's less than a month away, it's highly, highly likely that I actually will still be single. And so the thought of that makes me want to crawl into a hole and there's going to be a rehearsal dinner and every single person there is going to have their significant other with them. And I will literally be, I don't know, 15th wheeling. I can't even do math. It's a friend who I don't really know most of her friends and family. I don't even, have friends that I can dance with on the dance floor or anything like that. So yeah, that's going to be really hard. I feel like I'm back in that hopeless pit where I'm just like, when's it going to be my turn? Why is it taking so long? And I don't know how to get out of it. I know this account has mostly been like happy-go-lucky and I'm hopeful and I'm excited, but I want to share that this realness and this authentic moment that I'm going through. As freeing and exciting as being single can be, it really freaking sucks sometimes, especially when you're 31 years old and you've never been in a relationship before.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And then you hear these feminists talk about a male loneliness epidemic. If you really look, the women who cry about not feeling chosen, who are frustrated with their loneliness, are almost always women who, on a scale from 1 to 5 in looks, don't stand out. The truth is, women who aren't super attractive no longer have the same access to the dating market because men simply aren't chasing them anymore. They're the ones ending up single. Because back when men took the initiative to approach, court, and win a woman over, these women were able to find partners more easily. Maybe not the best-looking guy in the room, but a man they could build a relationship with, which is what truly matters in the end. But feminists demonized every sign of masculinity, and now nearly all male-female interactions happen through dating apps. That cuts out a lot of men who aren't photogenic or don't look good in pictures, and also the average women who don't fit the model stereotype. That's why the dating market today is total garbage. These women are left with two choices. Either they make the first move, or they crash into the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Why do men date younger women? I don't think it's about the physical appearance. Yes, they have great bodies, but let's be honest, at 35 with injections and sports, you can be in really good shape. I think it's because they are much easier, much more easygoing. They can be easily manipulated. They haven't seen much of the world, and so they can be happy with a few crumbs. Whereas the mature women, we have expectations, we've been there, done that. And also, it's way cheaper to date a younger girl. So think about it. We have to change our attitude.
It's not even that. It's simply because that woman doesn't come with a long list of demands. And believe me, even if she says that with injections and working out she'll have a much better body, nothing compares to a naturally young and beautiful body. But I have to say, men are more drawn to women who are willing to join their life plan, rather than to a woman who already has her own path set. Think about it like this. You've got a woman who's a manager at 35 and you're 38 in the same position. You want kids, but she's hesitant because she's afraid of losing her job. You tell her you're willing to take care of everything, but do you really think she's going to put her financial security in your hands? I'm not saying she wouldn't, but it's very hard for a woman to leave behind her entire life just to join the life you want to build with her. That's the difference. A younger woman doesn't have that issue.
Dating these days is tough because I just want to be adored. I just want someone to be obsessed with me and love me loudly, the way that I deserve and the way that I love. I want someone to love me the way that I show love. And I don't know why that's so hard to find. It shouldn't be that difficult because it comes naturally to me. Therefore, I should infer that it should come naturally to some other humans. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Like, I want a relationship where I get to brag on my partner. I want to talk about how amazing you are, all the great things that you're doing, and how smart and stunning and how much I love you. And I want someone who does that for me as well. I don't want someone who's lackadaisical. I've dated the lackadaisical person. I've dated the wishy-washy person. I've dated someone who I cared way more for them than they did for me. And now, most recently, I had a partner who looked at me like I put every constellation in the sky. That person was obsessed with me, but in a healthy way. And I want that again. I feel like once you have that, you can't go backwards.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
See why I say women don't know what they want. She just explained how she wants to be loved and how she wants to love. But if you pay attention to her story, she talks about two guys she dated. One of them, the one she was madly in love with, probably a classic Chad she would have done anything for. And the other, the guy who loved her exactly the way she says she wants to be loved, and yet, she left him too. That's where the key is. The indifferent Chad had her head over heels, while the guy who treated her like the last Coke in the desert, she didn't want him. That's when you realize the saying is true. She says she wants one thing, but always goes for the opposite. Like I said, even she doesn't understand herself. That's why the wall doesn't forgive.
Women.
Okay, can someone please explain to me what's in the air in Utah County for dating? Because what's up with men literally doing a full 180? Okay, so I've literally heard of this happening to so many people, and I'm just like, what is in the air? Like, even with my ex-husband, I'm like, okay, we're married for 4 years, we're in the middle of building a house, we're doing, like the little TikTok video of like, we're checking the progress, we're doing a little video together. On Sunday, we literally went, we did our little video, whatever. Everything was going great. He's like, I'm so excited. Thursday, he wants to get divorced. Why? Because he has a feeling, okay? And I guess he didn't want kids with me. Okay, whatever. That's a whole other story that we're not going to get into. But literally complete 180. I'm like, I don't think you leave your wife of 4 years because you're feeling overwhelmed. Given also too, he wouldn't come to couples therapy, literally wouldn't do anything, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, flash forward now. My friends are like, oh, okay, you should date this guy. He's been divorced. Like, maybe you guys could relate. You guys could be good friends. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, whatever. I'm not really super into dating, but I'm like, whatever. Like, I just, like, need to get out, do something, okay? He is 29. He seems like he's got his stuff together. He seems pretty, like, emotionally mature, right? Everything. I figure, like, oh, he's older. He's like, yeah, like, I'm done playing games. Like, I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to have kids. I'm like, okay, like, perfect, because me too. Anyways, whatever. He calls me, we meet up. I feel like our connection was like pretty instant. Like, it kind of felt like we were best friends. Things were going really well, whatever. This man is going like all in, like coming on so strong. Okay, like notes, flowers. We literally bought a dog together. I'm his soulmate, all this stuff. Okay, he wants to get married, all the things, okay? I'm like, okay, like, whatever, slowly warming up to it. I'm moving a little bit slower than he is because I had just got divorced. I'm, being a little more careful, whatever. Same thing, complete 180. I'm like, because he's like feeling overwhelmed. He's like, I don't know, I can't do it. Like, I need space to figure out my emotions. Given also in the beginning of our relationship, I felt like I needed space because I was like, I don't know, I just got divorced. Like, I'm trying to work all through these like new feelings with dating and stuff. And he was kind of like,
the first thing I'd say about this is, if you're going through a divorce, I'd recommend giving yourself at least 6 months to a year before looking for someone new. What happened with this guy, in my opinion, was the classic 3-month fever. That's when you meet someone new, everything feels exciting. You feel like a wolf back on the hunt, out having fun. That's why he came in full speed, flowers, love notes, talking about marriage and kids, even getting a dog, and then slammed the brakes. That usually happens when a man tries to force stability right after a divorce. He promises too much, too soon. And when he noticed you were moving slower because you had just gotten divorced, he realized he was skipping steps to fill his own emotional void. That's why he asked for space to figure out his emotions. It wasn't an act. It was a guy who got caught up in playing the role of ready for everything, and then realized he wasn't. That he was about to ruin his life all over again. Let's keep going.
He was kind of like, oh yeah, like, I think it's stupid for people to take space. Like, what does space really do? Like, he's like, in healthy relationship, you should be able to like work on yourself and be in a relationship, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. I hadn't really thought about that. I got married at 20. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I guess that's true. Like, just because I need to work through these feelings, I guess doesn't mean that I can't date you. Anyways, and then he does the same thing. And like, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt at first. I'm like, oh, well, maybe he's self-sabotaging. Like, maybe he's having a lot of fears, like, because he's been divorced, like, all these things. I like texted him. I'm like, hey, like, I really liked you. I thought our connection was really genuine. Like, I want to work through this with you. Like, whatever. He's like, totally shuts down. He needs space, whatever. I haven't heard from him in a month, which is fine. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, what's the point of like selling this fairy tale, telling like me, I'm your soulmate, that we're going to get married, we're going to have kids. Like, I'm just like, why do that if you don't actually mean it? And that's the thing too. The point of dating is to figure out if you like somebody, like, I'm completely fine if we date and then you're like, yeah, actually I don't like you. I'm like, cool. Like, that's fine. That's like the point of dating. Like, not everybody's going to like you, but I'm like, why the overpromising? Why like, you're my soulmate, all these things. And I've heard of like it happening, I feel like a lot. Even girls like guys breaking off their engagement just because they just can't do it. I'm like, what is happening? So anyways, I'm just like, what's happening? And if you're a guy, can you explain this? And if you're a girl, I'm like, are you guys having the same experience or what? He's literally the only person I've dated since I got divorced, so I can't say anything. It just was like, oh, this was interesting because obviously it happened with my ex-husband, and then it happened with him. And also too, I'm like, you knew. Like, I told him, like, oh yeah, I kind of told him, like, obviously the story of my divorce. And I'm like, and then he did like the exact same thing. He's like, that's so dumb. Like, I can't believe he did that. I'm like, babe, you are literally doing the same thing to me. Anyways, so please explain this. Is this happening to anyone else? And I have to know, like, what's going on.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
There are clearly two repeating patterns here. You're into men who tell you what you want to hear. That guy did exactly that. He told you everything you wanted and did whatever it took to sleep with you and have a good time. But when things started getting serious, he ended it. You might say, why didn't he just be honest? Well, the truth is, that's not an easy conversation to have. It's easier to stop reaching out or say, I need some time, and let you walk away on your own. That's exactly what he did, because that's the kind of man you're drawn to. You even noticed he was just like your ex-husband, because that's your type. And to be fair, you also moved fast from the beginning, because men are always going to come on strong with love. That's how most of us win women over. That's what he did. Once he had you, he realized you weren't the one, and he walked away in the least cruel way possible. That's what really happened.
A lot of men are probably going to hate what I'm about to say, but I don't care. I refuse to date broke men. I used to, and I used to think it was okay, and I have no idea why I ever thought that that was a good idea. Because if you come from a certain background, if you have a certain lifestyle, like within your family, then I think it is only natural to want and expect that out of your partner for your future as well. Like, why would I want to live below what I have experienced as a human being, right? And this isn't like a totally biased perspective, because although I had a certain upbringing, I have also experienced both ends of the spectrum. Like, when I was younger, my dad used to be in mortgage lending, and when the economy crashed, that was really bad for our family. So like, I have also experienced like food stamps, having nothing, foreclosure. I've gone through that. So like, I also do know what that's like, and I've learned a lot of lessons from that, but that's not how like my childhood started, and that's also like not what my family is like now. So all's to be said, I used to think it was okay, and I was like, you know what, like, it doesn't matter, like, I'll support them and whatever. And I've even been the one to pay for more stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I know that if me and my partner like wanted to start a business or whatever, my dad would help us. Why would I want that? Why would I not want a man that could provide for me like my dad did? Like my dad provided for my mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom when my parents were married. I want that too. I want to raise my own kids. I want to stay home. I don't want to stress about money. I want us to have nice things, get to have nice experiences. I want that for my children. I think that that is perfectly fine. So yeah, that's my expectation now. And it's not like I'm lazy. Like, obviously I have a job. I've made 6 figures since I was 22 years old. My dad doesn't help me. Like, I'm not being supported is what I'm trying to say. I can take care of my shit. But if I'm going to choose somebody as a life partner, they're going to take care of me, period. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Instead of looking for a man like your father, you should focus on being more like your mother. First of all, you're not living in your parents' era anymore. Second, Even a 5-figure salary in some states today isn't enough to support an entire family, not if you're aiming for an upper-middle-class lifestyle. So why not keep your 6-figure job, which is already a lot of money, and look for a man you can build with, someone who complements you so you both move forward together? Because if you say you want a man who earns more than you, we're talking about someone making around $10,000 a month. Do you know how many men make that kind of money? Maybe 10%, and let's be honest, they'll have better options than you. So your mindset isn't realistic. You're basically asking for a millionaire. Modern women today have a distorted sense of reality, but the wall is there to protect them like their dad used to, because the wall doesn't forgive.
Say that are actually manipulation tactics. So as we know, gaslighting is one of the most common forms of manipulation, and it's when they're denying your reality or your feelings. So they'll say things like, you're being too sensitive, or you're overreacting, or when you question them about something, they'll say, that never happened. Oh, you're imagining things. Or I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? His goal is to make you doubt your perceptions or make you think you're overreacting. Control or guilt tripping. So making you feel guilty for setting boundaries or asserting your needs. So he'll say things like, after everything I've done for you, or are you just going to leave me like everyone else did? You don't care about how I feel. Or if you really loved me, you would... whatever they want you to do. Oh, you're so selfish for thinking about yourself right now. He's doing this to get you to comply with his desires and make you feel selfish or unkind for doing what you want to do. Future faking is promising a future together, so marriage, kids, stability, with no real intention of following through. He's just trying to keep you emotionally invested or manipulate you into staying. So he'll say things like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I've never felt this way about anyone else before. I see my whole future with you. Oh, we're soulmates. I just know it. Let's move in together, get married, have kids, and let's do it soon. He's just trying to get you emotionally attached quickly with unrealistic promises. Using jealousy as control and isolating you. So he'll be acting possessive, checking your phone, and limiting your social life. He's trying to isolate you and control your independence. So he'll say things like, your friends don't really care about you like I do. Or why do you need to talk to other people when you have me? I don't like you going out looking like that. Who were you texting just now? Or you're mine. He's trying to cut off your support system and create distrust. Playing the victim and deflecting blame. He'll say, you made me act like this. Or I can't do anything right with you. Oh, you always make me the bad guy. Or you're attacking me for no reason. You're the reason the relationship is falling apart. He's trying to shift the focus from his behavior to your reaction and making you feel responsible for his actions to avoid responsibility. Triangulation, so bringing a third person into the situation, saying things like, oh, my ex never did that, or my friends think you're overreacting. The goal is to make you feel insecure, jealous, or to question your value. Being dismissive or minimizing. He'll say things like, you're being dramatic, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you always so negative? You're making something out of nothing. Or why are you always nagging me? You always find something to complain about. He's trying to invalidate your concerns and emotions. Silent treatment or withholding affection. So of course he's not going to say much for this one, but he's going to ignore you, be cold, or be emotionally unavailable if you've upset him or after a bit of conflict. His goal is to punish you or regain control in the relationship dynamic.
Talking about male manipulation tactics as if every man is following some abuse playbook is a dangerous exaggeration. Not every disagreement is gaslighting, and not every you're overreacting is a form of control. Sometimes, men simply see the situation from a logical point of view rather than an emotional one. When he says, I was just joking, it might actually be true. Not every sarcastic comment comes from a place of malice. Also, saying that a man promises a future without meaning it is an unfair way of ignoring something basic. Genuine desire can change over time. A man might truly believe he wants to marry you and have kids with you, and later realize he doesn't. That doesn't make him manipulative. It makes him human. Men get their hopes up too. They also idealize. But when they realize the relationship isn't what they expected, they choose to step back. Nowadays, every boundary set by a man is labeled as toxic, when in many cases, they're actually signs of self-protection or personal values.
These are normally who my videos are for. However, for one video and one video only, I'm calling for the males, more specifically the single males. Don't get excited. I'm not asking you to come on a date with me. My single life is not that bad that I'm doing a call out on TikTok. However, I am doing the Lord's work for you. I think boys seem to think that it's a lot harder to impress girls than it actually is. Now, these are simple things, okay? But I fear some of you fuckers do not know them. So let me teach you. It's simple basics, okay? Number one, if you're on a walk or you're walking somewhere, the girl always goes on the inside of the pavement. Girlie should never be on the side closest to the cars. Now, this is because if a car comes into the pavement, you should die first. And it's giving this macho energy. It's giving this, you know what, hit me with the car first. I'll be absolutely fine. I'll protect you. If this Volvo comes rearing into us, no problem. I'll deflect it with my Pam. Now, even more props, if she's on the wrong side of the road, just give her a little touch. Maybe a little waist touch, a little touch over, a little gesture to the other side. 11 out of 10. Simple. Number two, a girl should never, ever, 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 ever open a door. A car door, a restaurant door. Open that fucking door for her. And now all these feminists don't come at me in the comments being like, oh, we can open our own doors. Good for you. You do that. I'm stuck in the 1800s and I want some macho man to come swoop me off my feet. So I would like them to open the door for me. I don't want my hand touching any form of knob, literally any form of handle, anything, okay? I would like them to open it for me. Thank you very much. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not an immediate no if they don't do it. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you didn't open my door. I'm not going on another date. That's not it at all. But this is like tick, tick, tick. Like you want a glowing report in the group chat, tick, 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 if you do those things. If you don't worry. If your chat's still good, you'll probably get a second date. But like these are just the good hints and tips, okay? And finally, if you've had a good time and you definitely want to see them again, either plan or like drop in the second date when you're like dropping them off and be like, when are you free? Like, when can I see you again? I want to see you next week or whatever that kind of vibe is. Or drop them a text afterwards and say, or a voice note, you know, personally, I love a voice note. Say how much fun you had and you had a good time and you would want to see them again. Then that cuts the whole game scenario. She's not going home thinking, oh fuck, I had a great time. Did he? It's a clear cut situation. Like I said, super easy. I feel like to impress a girl, there's so many fucking weirdos out there. Bare minimum. Do the bare minimum. You're flying.
Cars coming. You're supposed to die first, like a true gentleman. You really have to listen to all kinds of things these days. The truth is, I support men being gentlemen. Doing those kinds of things definitely earns you points with a woman. Like I always say, if you're inviting a woman out on a date, it's because you're interested in her. So anything that adds to that goal is a good move. But nowadays, any gesture can be misinterpreted. If he gently touches her waist to guide her to the inside of the sidewalk, one woman might say, that's sweet, while another might say, that's invasive. If he opens the door, one sees it as gentlemanly, another sees it as him thinking she's weak. So when women demand these behaviors in public and in a mocking tone, what they're really doing is reinforcing the idea that men are constantly being tested, that every little thing they do can be judged and used to measure their worth. That's what discourages the average guy, not because he doesn't want to be respectful, but because he feels like nothing he does will ever be enough or seen the right way.
Women.
Men actually loved women when we cooked and we cleaned and we raised the children and we did everything for him. If that actually earned us a man's love, then so many men would still have those kinds of wives and so many of us women would still be willing to be that wife. The thing that so many men are missing because they missed out on their chance for a indentured servant is that so many of us women have been in these relationships and they didn't work out because the men do not love us and they do not respect us. Men simply cannot have a high self-esteem if his wife is doing everything for him and taking care of him to that capacity. And if a man does not have a high self-esteem, he is going to act out. Women have learned firsthand again and again and again that when you give too much to a man, he hates you. And complain that women don't want to give men a chance. We don't want to date men who are short or ugly or this. We've done it. We have done it. We have dated every kind of man and we have done everything for these men. And we learned.
I guess you're speaking for all women. But honestly, I don't think there's a single man these days who's looking for a maid. In fact, most men actually prefer their woman to work because we've learned that having a woman at home doesn't necessarily make life easier. In many cases, they're the ones who end up cheating on their husbands the most. So it's better to keep them busy working, improving life for both. Besides, men have changed. A lot of us know how to take care of ourselves, and I'd even say we do it better than women. Another thing that's changed is seeing women demand millionaire men when all they bring to the table is a pretty face. Average women shaming average men, even when their own lives aren't any better. That's what really gets under men's skin.
Why do some men act like they're entitled to a beautiful woman?
As a divorce lawyer, I see the long-term damage of this kind of entitlement. Men who truly believe their wives owe them affection, attention, submission, even when they've given nothing emotionally in return. He's emotionally stunted, inconsistent, can't hold a conversation without making it about himself, but still thinks he deserves someone who looks like a supermodel just because he exists. Boys are groomed from an early age to believe that women are a prize, that sex is something they're owed for being nice. Every movie is about a girl who's supposed to be theirs at the end. Everything reminds them of women, and not in a romantic way, in a possessive way, in a you belong to me kind of way. As children, they learn that being powerful means having a beautiful woman next to them. And if they don't get one, the rage builds. And that's where you see the rise of bitterness, resentment, even hatred. Entire online communities are formed around one shared belief. Women won't give me what I deserve. It's the incel mindset, the podcast rants, the high-value man speeches that are just insecure men yelling into a mic. They don't want love. They want validation, status, and possession. And when women choose themselves or raise their standards or simply don't want them, they call us names. They blame feminism. They take it as a personal attack because their whole identity was built on the idea that a woman would complete them, submit to them, and validate them. If you desire women, but at the same time you do not value women as human beings, that's entitlement. And if your masculinity crumbles just because a woman doesn't want you, you were never a man to begin with.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And as a divorce attorney, don't you feel that same sense of entitlement when a woman wants to walk away with half the money a man worked for, without her putting in a single day of work to earn it? Women are the only ones who believe that being with a man should automatically come with some kind of financial reward. It's been like that since the beginning of time. Just think about it. They want a provider, a man who pays for dates, a man who takes care of them financially. And even when they do work, when they get divorced, they still expect to get paid for breaking the commitment. In the end, everything revolves around money. So how do you tell a man to expect at least some emotional reciprocity? There are women who sell a fantasy of being loving and sweet, but the moment they get married, they change. A lot of good men end up in empty bedrooms without having done anything wrong. Men who are just asking, "What do you want?" hoping she might show them a little affection. But of course, we're the emotionally immature ones, while they emotionally manipulate in most cases.
Women.
The amount of men that are broke, don't want to be providers, or spend their money to take a woman out to nice places, what do you want then? Do you even like women? Maybe you should be dating men. These types of guys are wondering what they're getting in return when they're getting her presents. Women can afford their own dinner. They don't need to be there, and they don't understand. There can only be one princess.
Ladies, let me tell you something, yeah? It's always the broke guys that sit about talking about how they want girls with money, how they're looking for a girl with money, how they cannot date a girl with money. Excuse me, rich men don't think that way. Let me tell you something. Rich men are actually looking for a loyal girl that will actually eat their money. Always those broke uploads that be shouting, I need a girl that is, oh, I need a wife material. You have to be a wife material. Body can't say, body can't do say. Rich men don't think that. A rich man is looking for who he will be giving a black diamond platinum card to. A rich man is looking for who he's going to finish his money on. Rich men don't care about if the girl has money or not. As long as she has sense to want to build something for herself, that's it for them. They don't really care about how much is in her account because really they don't really care about the money.
And then they say they're not gold diggers. These are the same women who'll get with a rich guy tomorrow and later claim that he has money thanks to them, when the only thing they contributed was spending it. The truth is, many of them don't understand the difference between spending extra money and spending all of your money. They go out with wealthy guys who, trust me, know exactly what these women are after. They know there's a price tag. They take them to expensive places, buy them gifts, take them on trips, where the women give it all up for the weekend, or sometimes for a whole month. Then they get left behind, because that guy was just having fun, spending the extra money he could afford to lose. Meanwhile, the man who wants to build something, the one who sees a future with you, of course he's going to expect you to contribute to the plan. And that's what they don't like, because they're not wife material. They're just a pastime.
Men are truly such entitled creatures. They think just because they like the way you look, they like you, they want your Instagram, they want your phone number, they want your time, they want your attention, they want your love, that they're entitled to it. And if you don't give it to them, then you're a stuck-up bitch. This is why I don't like going out, because it never fails. At least 1 to 5 men are going to be on some weird entitled bullshit with me. They're upset because I'm not breaking my neck to see who catcalled me. They're upset because I don't want to give my phone number out because I'm not interested. If I give them my Instagram because that feels more safe, then they're asking a billion times, oh, you gonna follow me back, right? You gonna follow me back? How about if I like what I see, I'll follow you back, right? Like, I'm never rude when I'm out. I always turn down men politely because I don't even like to put myself in a predicament where a man could get aggressive with me. And it's fucked up I even have to say that, but that's just the reality for women. And I still feel uncomfortable even after I go separate ways with whoever's just trying to approach me, because they were just sitting up in my face telling me that I'm acting like I'm too good, or I'm acting bougie, or I'm acting Hollywood, or I'm acting weird, I'm acting stuck up. And then we're in the same place, right? And they're just staring me down, or they're giving me a dirty look. Look, if you're going to approach somebody, you have to understand that that very much could come with rejection. Right? And you have to be ready for that rejection. And if you're not, then you should just not approach women, because you're not entitled to shit. I promise you.
On this, I have to admit she's right. Rejection is part of the game. But what's interesting is that, nowadays, a lot of women confuse attention with harassment and politeness with romantic interest. A man can approach respectfully, with no hidden agenda, and still be treated like he's committing a crime. The men who are most successful with women are the ones who've learned to deal with rejection without holding a grudge. They try, fail, and try again. Not because they're pushy, but because they understand that nothing worth having comes without risk. The irony is that many of the same women who complain about those attempts are the ones crying on social media later, saying no men approach anymore. Rejection shouldn't be a battleground between the sexes. But modern feminism has turned natural interaction into collective paranoia. Now, men are afraid to speak up, and women feel powerful by ignoring them. That's why so many men are walking away. And women call it male loneliness, when the truth is, men just don't care about women anymore.
These are my dating rules as a girl who has truly learned to love herself over the years, or as broke, ugly men would like to call it, a self-centered, high-maintenance, stuck-up, gold-digging bitch. Number 1, if you haven't planned when you're gonna see me next after our first date within the first 24 hours, you simply will not be seeing me again. It's giving you don't have a sense of urgency about me, or you didn't enjoy the date enough to like really lock in and lock this shit down. I don't know, I need a guy to be obsessed with me after a first date. Number 2, I will not be entertaining a guy that still lives with his parents. I'm 25, I'm grown. You will not have me coming over and meeting your entire bloodline when I don't even know if I'm still gonna like you after the first month. Number 3, if you don't have a car. Babes, you're talking about, oh, let's go here, let's go there. How are we gonna get there? How are we gonna get there? You don't have a car. Number 4, if I don't get flowers after the first or second date, I'm out. Something about a man showing up to a date empty-handed, it just gives me the ick, like it rubs me the wrong way. Okay, I'm not that deluded where I would literally cut off a guy if he didn't bring me flowers on the first date, but I'm someone that if I expect something, I will say it. So if after I've dropped so many hints and been like, oh, where are my flowers? Oh, you better get me flowers next time. You don't bring me a bouquet on the second date, I'm gonna just take that as you don't take what I'm saying seriously. Number 6, if you say you're gonna do something and you don't end up doing it, you're done. It really can be as small as promising to call me before bed. It's the worst when they say all these things to flex. I'm gonna spoil you, I'm gonna get you this back, I'm gonna take you on this vacation. If you say you're gonna do something for me, I'm gonna hold you to it. And when you don't actually do it, it's literally gonna give me the ick.
This woman wants wife treatment when they're just getting to know her. Honestly, have you seen the economy lately? A lot of people are struggling, especially men who don't have a dad handing them everything like you do. Plenty of guys still live with their parents because they're saving up for a project or trying to buy their own home. They're making the most of the options they've got. And let's be real, you're not that man's wife for him to be heavily investing in you from day one. I can get behind the idea of paying for dates, but when it comes to stuff like flowers, dismissing a man just because he's not rich shows how out of touch you are with reality. You're an average woman, and that's exactly why so many end up hitting the wall. Because the wall doesn't forgive.
The male loneliness epidemic is so bad. I got proposed to 3 different times this year. Now, the first time I was proposed to, it was the romantic, get on one knee, whatever. But the second 2 were the most alarming. It wasn't the tone of, will you marry me, be my wife. It was, have my kids. It wasn't about me being their partner. It was about me giving them kids. It was the have my babies like offer. Not be my partner, let's go through life together, but have my babies. Bro, what the fuck? Because men are desperate, we are slowly gonna get away from the wedding fantasy and straight into having kids. Forget the honeymoon stage, it's straight to terrible twos. And I have a feeling it's gonna get a lot worse.
Even she doesn't believe that. You got 3 marriage proposals, 3 different men, and you still want us to take you seriously? If you're going to lie, at least try to make the story believable. 3 men wanting to have kids with you? Come on. Honestly, you look lonelier than the sun at noon. You talk about desperate men, but what really comes through is your own frustration. You've hit the wall, and it shows in every word you say. If you're going to tell a story, at least come up with something more realistic. Might as well ask ChatGPT to write it for you, because not even you believe that. But tell me, what do you all think?
Women.
What should a woman do if her husband is going to an early dinner with a work homie that's a woman? Look, I have no tolerance for this kind of disrespect. A married man that values you is not going to put you in this situation. He's taking another woman on dates, right? Like, call it what it is. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not, believe men when they're blatantly lying. If a man like that hasn't already cheated, he's going to, right? He's building a relationship with that woman to cheat. Like I said, you're asking someone that has no tolerance for that kind of disrespect. I don't believe men's lies. So this might sound a little extreme to someone, but this is what I would do. If I was in this situation, I would say, oh, you have a girlfriend. I didn't realize we were seeing other people. Thanks for letting me know. Tell him you're going to find a boyfriend. Honestly, or just, tell him you need divorce papers because you didn't realize that you were going to be dating other people. That's literally just a date. Going to dinner with someone that's not your wife, and then coming home to your wife after spending your money on another woman, he took her on a date. Dinner is a date. A married man going out with another woman is taking another woman on a date. That's not his work homie, that's his girlfriend. So, short answer would be don't tolerate it. A man that genuinely values you is going to be loyal to you, is going to be faithful to you throughout your marriage long term, is not going to be taking other women to dinner. He's not going to be going to dinner with other women. And coworkers are one of the main sources of affairs, right? That's one of the top ways that people end up cheating, is people they meet at work. So yeah, this is unacceptable.
Stop it. Get some help.
I never support infidelity. When she says, that's literally a date, it shows a narrow-minded view of the world where a man isn't allowed to have a social or professional life outside of marriage. That kind of logic infantilizes the relationship because trust no longer exists. Her reaction comes from distrust and insecurity, not from any real understanding of male behavior. A man can have dinner with a female coworker without it having any romantic meaning. Not every interaction between opposite sexes is a date. A lot of men, especially those who are responsible and focused, understand the difference between a professional interaction and betrayal. The problem is that many women, like the one in the video, operate under the belief that every man is guilty until proven innocent, and that mindset destroys more marriages than any innocent dinner ever could.
I don't know if anyone else in their 30s can relate to this, but I feel like life just feels very heavy at the moment. I'm feeling very overwhelmed, confused. I just don't know how to feel at the moment. I think I'm struggling with the fact that my life is feeling very stagnant at the moment. I feel like my life, nothing's changed that much or progressed in the last 4 years. And I think it's hard when you're the age that I am and you're seeing people around you getting married or getting engaged or either having children or having more children. A lot of my friends now are having their second child or pregnant with their second child or just got married, and I'm not there. I want to be there, but I just feel like my life's stuck at the moment and I want it to progress, but I'm obviously not in a position where that's gonna
happen anytime soon. And like, I think it probably sounds like I'm being really like unsupportive, but like I'm still so happy for my friends, and like I can be like, basically, like, you can still be happy for other people that they're like having children and getting married and stuff, but you also can feel like really sad as well, like that's not happening for you. Like, I mean, I don't want to get married. Like, I think it's a scam. I think marriage is a scam. Like, it's not for me. Like, but like, I think, I don't know, like, I think it's the thought of someone wanting to marry you. Like, that's the thought. That's what gets me more. Like, it's the fact that someone would like you that much. I don't know. I'm fucking chatting shit now, but yeah, I just feel really stuck at the moment, and like nothing's progressing. My life just feels quite flat at the moment, and I'm finding that quite hard, because I want my life to like be progressing and it's not. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. I probably feel better now. I've just say how I'm feeling out loud. Sometimes I feel like that's a good therapy, just to kind of talk it out. But yeah.
She's hitting the wall. Women can push the idea of being strong and independent, but you can't fight your biology. Once you hit your 30s and certain areas of your life are in place, your mind starts filling up with thoughts about what's missing. In this case, it's a family. After a while, those independent achievements don't bring the same satisfaction. The worst part is seeing your circle shrink, because everyone else is focused on their families, on building something more, on having kids. And little by little, you're being left behind. She says she doesn't believe in marriage, but what really hurts is that no one ever cared enough to offer her one. Brothers, the wall doesn't forgive.
5 signs you're in a toxic relationship. If you're experiencing these things, it's time to leave. I'm Kimberly, I'm a relationship coach. Give me a follow if you need help navigating your love life. 1, they only seem to point out what's wrong with you, and it feels like there's constant criticism. 2, there's an imbalance of power and you feel like you're being controlled. 3, you're not your best self around them and you don't like the person you've become. 4, your self-esteem goes down and you're constantly questioning everything around you. And 5, you keep waiting and waiting for things to get better, hoping that all of this will change.
Lots of red pill guys are men who were oblivious. They were taught to be nice to women until they got their heart broken. They saw that the bad guys get the women they were nice to, and then they become red pill. If your kindness towards women was entirely dependent on whether they were willing to sleep with you, you were already a bad guy. You didn't need to turn to the red pill.
If a man apologizes like this, run, because it's not an apology, it's manipulation. A real apology requires accountability, right? A fake one, that's a whole different game. If you've ever heard, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I didn't mean it like that, that's not an apology, that's gaslighting. Instead of admitting they hurt you, they'll twist it to make you feel unreasonable for being upset. And a lot of times, they'll flip it right back on you. I wouldn't have done this if you didn't overreact in the first place. This isn't an apology. It's about dodging responsibility while making you doubt your own feelings. And here's the key. Real change never comes from these fake apologies. A healthy partner who cares about you doesn't just say sorry, they show it. Their words match their actions, and they make an effort to actually do better for you. But a manipulator, they'll apologize just enough to keep you from leaving, only to repeat that same behavior later. And this pattern of fake apologies is a huge red flag. If somebody refuses to take real accountability, they're showing you exactly who they are. So pay attention, because how they apologize says everything about who they really are.
You know why there are so many single women? It's because they want a relationship while still acting like they're single. If a woman doesn't want a man to have any kind of say in her life, then she's better off staying out of relationships and just living freely. As for all the talk about toxic relationships, let's be clear, a lot of the time, the one accusing someone of being toxic is really just someone who can't handle frustration. If your partner corrects you, sets boundaries, or doesn't always validate your emotions, that doesn't mean he's controlling you. It means he's not willing to be shaped into your ideal. The irony is that many women say they want a strong man, but when they finally get one, they mistake strength for dominance. A man with principles isn't going to say yes to everything or walk on eggshells just to avoid upsetting you. Healthy relationships aren't about never having conflict. Men apologize differently, more with actions than words. But today that's not good enough, because women want apologies delivered the right way, like it's some kind of moral test.
Women.
I don't know who needs to hear this today, but girlies, date guys who actually like you. Okay, like stop dating guys who low-key hate you and you're just like making excuses for them. And how can you tell? I feel like something that's very obvious is that if he can't even treat you as well as how he treats his friends, that's like a major red flag. And number two, if he can't treat you as well as how your friends treat you, if he can't even do favors for you or treat you nicely or speak to you respectfully the way that your friends show you love and take care of you, well, then what are you doing? Also, another thing, if he is purposely trying to make your life difficult, like let's not even talk about him making your life easier because that's what he should be doing. But if he's purposely making your life difficult and bringing problems to you, that's going to be a no. Okay, think about it. Someone who really loves and cherishes you will not want to see you struggling, will not want to see you suffering, will not want to see you having a hard time. He's not going to say things like, oh, I thought you were a strong woman. You can do it by yourself. I believe in you, babe. Like, men who truly love you, regardless of like how much they believe in you, they will want to help you. They will want to support you. They will want to take care of you. Whether or not you accept their help, that's on you. But men who truly love you will want to help you.
This kind of message is the clearest reflection of modern-day egocentrism. Women ask for help, but never explain what they bring to the table in return. They say a man should make their life easier, but don't mention a single way they make a man's life better. They want financial, emotional, and physical support, but they don't offer stability, respect, or real partnership. Notice how she never says how she helps, how she makes a man's life easier. And when she keeps talking about help, you know she's really talking about money, because what they want is an easier life. That whole idea that men should treat you as well as they treat their friends is a meaningless comparison. With friends, there's no emotional baggage, no constant expectations or complaints. It's easy to be kind when I don't owe you anything and you're not demanding anything from me either.
Okay, let's talk about 10 telltale signs if this man is toxic. Also, the way I'm wearing like a set from my activewear line right now, but I have my boyfriend's sweater over it, his little frat sweater, because it's so cold in his apartment. I don't know what's going on. Number one is know that if he tries to tell you what to wear or shames you for your outfit choices, he's giving off a really insecure vibe. Number two is if he goes out of his way to try to isolate you from your friends. This is usually a tactic so you have no one else to turn to but him, and it's toxic. Number three is that he's constantly going out of his way to try to make you feel crazy jealous. And by that, I mean constantly comparing you to other women that he knows, or talking about them, or telling you about all the women that want to be with him so bad. I know that sounds cringy, but believe it or not, a lot of guys do that. Number four is that if he speaks to you in a disrespectful tone or way, especially in front of other people. Any man who does that for like, oh, the butt of the joke, or just like to kind of put you down is a red flag. Number five is that he's constantly going out of his way to try to make you feel insecure, pointing out small flaws and just little things to knock you down a peg or two. Number six is that he's constantly and frequently Snapchatting and texting other women. Number seven is that when he's drunk, he lashes out on you or gets aggressive. That's not only a red flag, but also really just scary in general. Like, that's what we're not gonna be putting up with, for real. Number eight is that he's very into drugs and also tries to encourage you into that lifestyle. I know that sounds really niche, but unfortunately it actually happens to a lot of people, and I feel like it's a really scary lifestyle that a lot of people get sucked into because of their romantic partners. Or number nine is that he will try to dictate what you post on social media and tell you to like delete certain posts. Also, this highlight is fucking insane. Any guy that tries to control like your character and your online presence and like the way people are perceiving you is bad news, because then it's like, does he even love you for you and like love you unconditionally? Number 10 is that he'll shame you for your outfit choices or for going out and like getting dinner and drinks with girlfriends. I feel like that's a classic case of controlling man disease, to be honest. And the worst types of men out there are the ones that make you feel guilty for living your life. I already know I'm gonna get some comments that are like, my boyfriend's done every single one of those things on the list, what do I do? Or they're gonna be like, he's done 7 out of 10 things on that list. And to that I say, why is he still your boyfriend? And this is the glam.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I believe we're heading toward a time when men will treat women with complete indifference because they'll have earned it. Beyond whether a man is controlling or extreme, the truth is, many women see any form of care from a man as control. You call any man toxic just for setting a boundary, but you never stop to ask if your own actions are crossing his. That's the real irony. Most of the women who label everything as toxic are actually the most controlling ones. They're the ones who won't let you have a single female friend, who get upset if you go out with your boys on the weekend, and who slowly pull you away from them over time. But of course, that's not called manipulation. One thing I've learned in life is that people who know how to recognize certain patterns also know exactly how to use them. Remember, the thief thinks everyone else is a thief. So, brother, watch out for the ones who call everything toxic. Sometimes, they just don't want you to have the same control they're trying to have over you. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why is it that any form of care from a man toward a woman is seen as control or toxic these days? And what's your take on the 30-year-old woman who's starting to feel the weight of loneliness? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.